And it's the news angle, bitch. Welcome back to another episode. This is your boy D.
And it's your girl, CJ.
And I'm blocking anybody that has anything negative to say about the riots. Brandy.
Ain't that the fucking truth right now? Listen, people are hurt. Their feelings are hurt on social media. Just hurt. I mean, we're gonna talk in depth about it for our our Triangle episode. But I mean, just to let folks know, don't nobody care about your crocodile tears no more. Don't nobody care about your...
it boils down to this. Black, to us at least, the Black lives matter more than white feelings. Not necessarily saying Black lives matter more than white lives. That's not what we're saying at all. That's not what it was ever supposed to be. But Black lives matter more than white feelings. Fuck your feelings, because we've been feeling some type of way for a very long time.
A long time.
Now you have a right to feel whatever way you want to feel if you're feeling some type of way about it. You know what I mean? That's you. That's cool. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And then, and to us, like I said, and I will say it again, Black lives matter more than white feelings.
You better say it again. Just to be clear, what was that again, D?
So we're clear.
Black lives matter more than white feelings.
Boy.
I need that on a t-shirt.
And by white feelings, and not even white feelings, it could be anybody's feelings.
It really is. It's anybody who's against any of this shit right now who don't understand that, like, people are like, oh, looting is like so crazy. I was like, so you surpass the fact that somebody's life is lost and you're worried about looting, like things breaking.
Again, I'm not condoning no kind of crazy shit that's happening, but what the fuck did you expect? Because obviously peaceful protest didn't work. Motherfuckers was mad people were taking knees and marching and they're blocking traffic, and I got to go get a haircut or wherever the fuck your ass is going to go. So now that people are doing that, everybody's screaming and preaching, we don't care if you protest, just do it peacefully. That's what the fuck people have been doing for a very, very long time. We've been doing it. Still an issue. So now they're on to something else. So you had your opportunity. It was a problem. Kaepernick is in the situation that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. So y'all can miss me and all three of us with that bullshit.
Miss us with that.
I'm not here for it. And I'm not here for... and I've never said this because I've always been a person that's like, the president is the president. So I've never been like a y'all president thing, but I'm saying, hey, y'all president. With the whole victim shaming and calling the protesters thugs, I'd rather you just call them niggas with the hard R, because that's what you're wanting to do.
You might as well, right?
But we're not calling the police that do this over and over again. We're not calling them thugs. We're not calling the people that were protesting and right in officers' faces with guns. We're not calling them thugs. See, miss me with that bullshit, because what you want to do is focus on the violence that's happening because of the violence that should have never happened. The Sandra Bland shouldn't have happened. Taking it all the way back, the Emmett Till shit. None of this should have happened.
None of that should have happened.
So we've been tired of it for decades, hell, for centuries, against being treated in a way that we should have never been treated. And then, as someone told me on YouTube, you've been given your freedom. What are you doing with it? We had to fight for everything, and we're still fighting. And now like I've always said, I said, the younger generations, as they keep going, these new jacks don't give a fuck. They
better fucking recognize.
Martin, and they don't give a fuck.
They really don't.
You don't want it to get to the point where, everybody talks about race wars and stuff, and we'll talk about that more on the real episode of the Triangle. But yeah, honey, like Demetrius said, you can miss us with that shit.
For real. But speaking of, because he brought up Kaepernick, we could start there. He actually has organized some lawyers along with, some financial assistance for those people who I think were in Minneapolis that started getting arrested for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. Like, so there is support out there already. Like, because I read somebody was posting like, well, where's Kaepernick? He's been out of the spotlight. Like, he been doing shit behind the scenes. That's what he's been doing. Like, don't come at people just because they don't be showing out. It's like those people who are like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and give this homeless guy $100 and then record it, put it on my fucking social media page. He's not about that life. Like, he really is about supporting people and helping the cause. So
and he's
there
been
you go.
For years now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going hard for you. Hear him in the girl he's with. I don't know if they're married yet or not, but her name's like Netta or Nettie, but she goes hard as well with him. But yeah, they've both been doing work behind the scenes and just trying to make everything fair like it should be. And even with the work that they've been doing, the work anybody's been doing,
right,
in that way, it should not be this hard.
it
And
shouldn't.
again, get to the root cause. Like, if you're triggered by all this shit happening, instead of getting on the people for how they're reacting, why not take a moment to step back and say, you know,
Girl.
why is this happening? What can I do to understand it better? How can I help? Instead of, you guys shouldn't A, B, and C, because y'all can't even tell us what to do, because no matter whether we're violent or we're peaceful, stuff still ain't changing, because y'all still want to reap the benefits of how y'all ancestors laid out this land, and we ain't having that shit.
Yep.
Y'all don't like it. Whether you realize it or not, you're not feeling it.
It is.
So now we gotta fight.
Now we gotta fight. I mean, so, you know, I didn't realize that this quote was available, because I had been saying it before I even like was looking up MLK quotes and stuff. If you don't know who MLK is, it's Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. But he, I was telling people, because people who were like, you know, looting and whatever is terrible. I was like, yeah, it's bad, but like y'all said, like, we haven't been heard. We've been feeling invisible. Like, what else is there left to do but to make, you know, a scene?
They like to say, like, breaking things and looting places won't change anything. Okay, so let's stop there, Karen and Connor. Tell me what will then.
That's what I'm saying. Tell us what the fuck you want us to do.
What will change it? The people that are in powerful positions, whether it's corporations or political seats, we need to have more people of color and more pussies in those seats. That, and I don't mean pussy as a person, I mean people with vaginas. We need more people of color and more women in places of power, so shit can really change, and not the same group of old white men running the country into the ground. And that's the real problem, because historically, like I told that little troll on YouTube, historically most white men have had a problem with people of color and women.
I guess I gotta go on YouTube. I really did take a 2-day sabbatical, because I was like, I let my little story go. If you guys are interested, there is a highlight story time on our Instagram page where you can read how I got into a conversation with a white female who was trying
single white female?
Who was not single white female, who was trying to impress upon me and the others that she was an ally, but she was not. I guess she wasn't with the way that she thought I should allow her to be an ally, is what I got out of it, basically. And I just wasn't with it. But it's an interesting story. I actually tried to like unfriend her on Facebook, and then she like found me on the podcast page and reached out to me again. So then I had to block her. I'm not really about blocking. I'll unfriend people, but I don't bother blocking. You want to see what I'm doing? Come on then. The pictures here are pretty. So, you know. But speaking of Kaepernick too, there's a trend happening that Dee posted that I thought was very interesting, where the cops are having photo ops with the mass media, where they're kneeling with the people in the protests and whatnot, and then immediately getting putting on their fucking gas masks and then tear gassing them and rubber bulleting them. I was like, so we just gonna pretend, huh? Like photo ops, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
You know.
It makes a good press, because I think it has to do with the escalations overseas. When I found out they're protesting in Tokyo and London and other places, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, they're upset about that shit too. So I think this is just to try to save face and try to, we're not as bad as we seem, because, you know, that's a big thing. They want to make sure that everybody else, every other country respects us for whatever the fucking reason. They're going to push those photos out. And still carry on the normal operation, business as usual.
Which is funny, because they're not even pushing that as hard, because like Killer Mike and I want to say T.I. and somebody else.
I still need to watch that. I haven't watched it.
And Killer Mike always makes, for the most part, pretty legit points. And the way news works, if anybody, you know, pays attention to any news outlet, they're just going to regurgitate the same couple stories over and over.
Of course.
They even do super cuts on, like Jimmy Kimmel does a wonderful job of doing super cuts of everybody saying the same thing.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
It's insane. So there are plenty of people that are doing still peaceful protesting. They're not burning up cop cars or whatever. So of course it's going to seem like every city is burning to the ground with the way that they're putting it out there. But here where I'm at, like, Cleveland ain't burned down. Like I told Demetrius earlier while we were waiting on fucking CJ.
First of all, I was securing the bag.
He's out there pimping, and it ain't easy.
No.
They bust out a window at the bar that I work at, and That's my place of work, and I didn't want that to happen. But I'm also like, shit, like we said, this is what happens when we go unheard. This is what happens when change doesn't come. This is what happens when the same group of white people keep getting away with everything, and they get slaps on the wrist for killing people, for raping people, for shooting up movie theaters. I'm like, these people should be thrown under the jail or dead. But we get killed for, what was it, forgery?
Forgery.
That forgery. Are you
kidding? You got people like Amadou Diallo that get killed just for standing in front of his fucking house.
Listen.
Shit like that.
And I don't think people understand how much like pressure we've all been under. I actually cried earlier talking to Rob about this shit because I was like, do you realize like we were, you know, just talking about our honeymoon and stuff. I was like I've never told him, but I was like, you know, we were joking like, oh, you can't go to Jamaica because you're a white boy, blah, blah, blah. I was like, do you realize that I had to go look up places he could go as a white guy, I could go as a brown girl, we both could go as a couple because we were interracial couple. Mm-hmm. Like I had to do triple the research of an area so that I feel safe enough and I know that he'll be safe, I'll be safe, and we can return home to our children to go on a honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could go to Oki or Japan. That's safe, but I want to go somewhere I've never been, obviously. But then I'm like, but now we just talked about pushing our wedding back to next year, y'all. So.
No, I believe it. I was waiting for it because I'm like.
Because here's the thing. If it's not going to calm down now and then people are going to protest and there's COVID still in the air.
There. That's something that did bother me. I ain't going to lie because I'm like, I like that y'all, you know, shaking tables and burning buildings. But I'm also like, pandemic, it ain't going nowhere.
It hasn't left, and over the Memorial Day weekend it actually rose in select cities and states, the number of infection. I think one of the places, I can't remember what state it was, I just glanced at it, but they were saying that because people were at the lake, so many people were there, not social distancing, and 2 people were found with COVID. Now they're making this huge news announcement, like if you were at this lake from this day to this day, these 2 people, there were 2 people who got the infection, and please go get checked, blah, 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 blah. So you already know 80% of those people are going to be infected by it. And out of those 80% of people, like 20% of people are going to be in critical condition, and then the 3% are going to pass away. And so how many hundred is that right there from that weekend in the lake? You know what I'm saying? Like
not even counting like the fact that Demetrius said like people getting crunk. I ain't said that in like 20 years. People getting crunk.
Me and my girls were saying that we're bringing crunk back because old girl, if Rachel's listening, I think it was Rachel. Rachel said old white men took the word lit, so we can't use it anymore. We need to bring
we can't.
Crunk back.
No more saying lit. We gotta say crunk. I remember they were even trying to make it
everything.
Music. It was like crunk and B.
Oh no!
Yes. Taking it back.
I mean, so you know, like going back to the global news too. It's because everybody and we'll get into it in a deeper way on our regular episode. But everybody got a taste of oppression, just a smidgen. Not even a percent of it, but a smidgen of oppression. You got a taste of not being able to leave your house when you want to because something might happen to you. It wasn't a killing, but it was close. It was a virus that could kill you. You got a taste of having to wait in line to get your supplies because in the hood where there's nothing, you have to go to food banks to get food sometimes if you don't got it. And you know our food banks are like empty now because everybody's been out of a job and can't afford groceries in certain areas.
And if you ain't going to get to the food banks, your ass is going to the fucking welfare office to go get them fucking food stamps.
Right. So how many
waiting in line
people, all these people who have gone to food banks for the first time, welfare for the first time, they all got a taste of something, which is why the non-POCs are out protesting this time. That is the only difference. And like
I've noticed more than what I ever had seen.
I've seen so many non-POC people.
Yeah, because there were a lot downtown here, and I was just like, okay, like
listen,
Emily Potter is out here. They are not playing.
I talked to one of my girls in Lincoln, Nebraska. Lincoln rioted. Lincoln, Nebraska.
When they had a map.
Girl.
They had a map with dots because you know Trump talking about sending out the real military and they had like red dots and everywhere, and I saw some like in Wyoming and stuff. I was like,
yes.
what the fuck? They turn it up out there
Listen,
too.
I will say
like, this is perfect timing because to me, and you guys can speak for yourselves, but I'm like, to me, this feels different.
It does.
This feels different this time.
I
don't know
hope
what
so.
it is, but I'm just like, this feels a little different. And me and a homegirl, shout out to Candace, hey, we were talking after work, like, you know, we're interested in this verdict because I feel like if y'all are annoyed or scared and frustrated with how they're acting now, let him not be charged with first-degree murder and really be in jail. Hey. You won't see another side because these kids is not playing out here. They are not. They got the time.
They're not playing.
And then on top of that, CJ hit the nail on the head. She's so goddamn right all the time.
I am not.
with the way the economy has shifted and everything else, and we've seen this historically too. People get desperate and angry and rowdy when their money is funny.
Absolutely.
People ain't got shit to lose. Businesses are closed. They still can't go back to their jobs. Not everything is open. And they've been restless for 3 months. It's on. Like they got the energy, they got the time.
They have all the energy, all the time.
And all y'all have to do is do the right thing and convict this man for murdering somebody. Because that's what
and the other three at least.
Oh yeah, get their asses too, for sure. But and don't think we forgot about Ahmad. Get their asses too.
Get their asses too. And what's her name? Oh my God, what is her name? Jesus.
And while we at it, somebody go get Zimmerman.
Well, Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor, thank you. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot just now. I'm sorry. Breonna Taylor too. And I'm just like, yo, I just wish that people understood that this is literally how we've been living. Like, I've never told Rob this story till today where I got pulled over in Lincoln because the cop thought I looked out of place. Nigga, I'm not even that dark. I am light complexion compared to everybody like
you're
around
dark
me.
Like Tyrese in comparison to all them white folks.
I am like Tyrese. That's what I was trying to explain to some of my other friends who don't understand. They're like, oh, but you're like light brown. I was like, I am, but I'm still brown. You know what I'm saying?
And then on top of that, even the fact that we've talked about this in several episodes, how you have to manipulate your hair because you already know what type of settings you're going to be in. It don't matter how light you are as a mixed person. And I know that's hard for people that are undeniably Black to kind of understand and empathize.
It is tough.
I know I've had a hard time over the years, and I'm more sensitive to it now than what I ever was in my 20s. Because I'm like, these white motherfuckers need to shut up because they're like, it's easier than ours, so it don't matter. And now I'm like, man, and it's probably also in part because I got my little light son. So I'm like, you're still Black.
They still gonna see you as Black. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how you talk or how nerdy you are or whatever. You're still very much Black. And it's the same thing for those of us mixed with Black. And just trying to find that constant balance of how do I fit in? How do I make myself safe? And that's something that they'll never be able to understand, but it's like the least you could do is empathize with it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Very least, instead of making us fight and explain why we're upset.
I think the moment I realized that no matter what type of Black you are, like complexion-wise you are, they're always going to be Black, is when I overheard somebody call somebody a light Black person. To that person, they were still Black, but just lighter. Do you see what I'm saying? We talk in terms of complexion and we're like, oh, that girl is more like caramel colored. That girl is more like this. She's more chocolate. Like we actually talk about the shades and complexion. Right. Nope. She's a light Black person. A light Black person means we're all Black people to them. We are all Black.
Hey, like Jay-Z song said, still nigga. Like it
still a nigga.
Still nigga. Like it doesn't matter.
And and they've taken on this like thing where they think that if they say, oh, Black Lives Matter, it's okay, I'm part of your, like, I don't want to be that person. I was telling one of my girls, no, what I was going to say is I don't want to be that person who doesn't want help from our non-POC allies. We do. We need it at this point because they don't hear us at all. It's just like the article I posted about the Black guy who got mistaken for somebody who robbed somebody, and the lady at the gas station called the cops. And if it wasn't for the older white gentleman who told the cops that he didn't come from that direction, he was about to get arrested. But it wasn't enough that the dude who was being questioned said, that's not me. I just came from my house with 3 kids and my wife trying to gas up. I didn't rob anybody. You know what I'm saying? So if people like, because I've seen Black folks and brown folks talking about, oh, we don't want that white support. No, that's not how this is gonna get fixed. This
Or
time,
my dad saw some protesters and he was like, he felt the way that, and granted, I give him and my mom passes because y'all grew up in something that
absolutely
I did not.
the way they feel or the way they are allowed to feel.
I feel it. So it's coming from a place of, damn, like I was telling somebody else, my mom was born the year Emmett Till died. So y'all are just growing up in all this shit in real time. So he was really upset by them having their hands up, or some of them were even putting their fists up, saying the same things of I can't breathe and Black Lives Matter and everything. Right. And he was, I feel like they can help, but they don't have the right to do that and put up those signs and do this. And I'm like, I can understand that, but I'm also with CJ from the mindset of the people that put this into place and the people that are benefiting from what was put into place by their ancestors. You need to help us take it down. We need
exactly, because they're the reasons why it's even going on in the first place. So we're gonna need you to undo what was done.
Yeah,
undo it.
Yeah, because
undo it.
We can't have it both ways. We can't complain about them supporting us and then tell them that they're supporting us in the wrong way if they're trying to at least support. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, I mean, as long as they're doing it like in a sincere way is what I'm getting at. I don't want people to think it's a photo op. I feel like there's a group of people out there thinking it's a photo op, like some of these YouTube influencers that just got caught up in, in a Target and shit. I don't even want to say his name because he's so notorious for doing stupid shit when things go down. Of course, he's a white Caucasian.
Please don't tell me it's boy who also did that bullshit in Japan.
Yep, that's him. So
God.
if you already know from those two things, I'm not even going to talk about his story really because I don't want to give him that much power anymore. But he's just so disrespectful.
Attention whore, for sure.
He's a piece of shit. I said it. Piece of shit. On that note, we're taking a break.
Bye.
And we're back.
There we go. That didn't work the first time. Sorry, the button
sure
didn't go through.
Demetrius, I'm just not over how handsome you look.
Look at him.
Thank you.
I know, right?
Not over it. Like, you look so cute.
Thank you. Well, I didn't last week. And viewers, not necessarily listeners, listeners too. I'm so sorry for last week. I ate an edible, and I didn't know I ate an edible. So I was in a horrible fucked up situation.
Oh my God, that happened to you too. Okay.
Yes.
we can drink on that. What the never have I ever.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was pretty intense. I didn't know.
I had no idea. I was like, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, what's wrong with me?
It was one of the worst.
DJ said there was gonna be a difference because I did the Triangl and the Newsangl, and I was just like, there's definitely a difference. One of these things is not like the other. Yeah,
because his eyes was like just.
And my favorite is when Demetrius is eating and he's like.
I was so hungry.
He killed that fish. Well, yeah, because you had the munchies the whole time.
Oh, I was eating a piece of fried fish from the Asian store. I forgot.
You were killing it. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm ready.
Man, it was so good. I was like, bruh. And the editing was terrible because there would be so many long periods of silence where he's just looking at me. I'm looking at him. And I'm just like, so on YouTube, it's funny, but when you're listening to it, it sounds like something went wrong. So I have to edit those silences out. On YouTube, it's funnier. So if you want to watch that, I would go on YouTube and do it. We were just like, yeah, man. And then Dee would just be like, silence.
It was terrible. I'm sorry. That was not what I intended.
No, because you didn't know though. He didn't know.
It was bad. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
we're making up for it this week.
Okay. At least he's cuter this week.
Speaking of safety, obviously people are on curfew now. All over are you guys having curfews right now?
No,
not that I know of, but I make sure I look it up. And you know why I'm making sure to look it up?
What?
Because all those places that had curfews, nobody was notified about the curfew. So if you were just out and about, your ass.
Yeah, because they fucking implemented it immediately. immediately.
Yeah. So how the fuck are the citizens supposed to know if you don't fucking tell them?
Dude, what makes you think they give a fuck? They're already putting bullets in our faces.
They definitely already shooting up people from the streets. Like the same day, they're like, your asses better be in by 4. It's like, but it's 5:30 when I saw the text message.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for real. Like, so, like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's probably the same people that are leaving fucking bricks on the fucking sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
We're going to get into that Antifa stuff on our next episode because we're doing the what the fuck episode after this. If you are watching this and you didn't catch the last episode before this that came out on Thursday, we talk about Antifa, martial law, like Black Lives Matter, race wars and things like that. So that's, it'll be on there in depth. But if you want to look it up, for yourself, you can just type in Antifa, Antifa, and learn about it.
I heard Trump talk about it because he blaming all the violent outbreaks on them.
I mean, most of it is them and a couple other groups, but it's just. But like Dallas has an 8 p.m. curfew right now, and Fort Worth has a 7 p.m. curfew right now. And within, like you guys said, it just happened. Nobody got the fucking memo, so they arrested like 76 people the first 3 hours in Dallas.
Which is also insane because I'm like, where are you putting them? I'm pretty sure they're not 6 feet apart because my brother's locked up right now here in Ohio. And he let me know when they're bringing people in, they are barely even checking their temperatures. They're just bringing people in.
They don't give a fuck.
Somebody tested positive. And I'm like, they're in prison. So this is almost like equivalent to Walking Dead season 2 for those that
that chapter of Jumanji has ended. We're now to the riot section.
I'm like, everybody's together in a prison. This is a zombie outbreak. Like,
oh man, I saw a post. I haven't gone back because I want to read it, but Patrick had posted something. Can the aliens come down here for June already? Like, take out whoever they need to take out. I was just
my favorite one was saying, in the fall, what was going to happen was old boy from Jeepers Creepers was coming.
No!
I was like, this would be the year, wouldn't it?
Keep the children. Well, I mean, if we think about Halloween being on a Saturday on the blue moon and...
Listen, whoever planned on rising up anybody or if the mummy's returning again, would be the year for that shit.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the energy that they're fucking harnessing, too. Because that shit is real. Like, there's so much energy in there. Like, the empath people like me are fucking tripping. I know Dee's tripping too.
For the record, if somebody's watching, I'm drinking a sparkling probiotic drink. It really looks like I'm downing lemon drops, like Dee said, but I'm not.
Oh, yeah. I thought you was, like, killing them drinks right now. Yeah, I was like, is she going to be okay for the next episode? Or?
16. No. It's nothing but lemon and ginger. I swear
okay. It just looks like lemon drops.
I'm drinking some Modelo Negra.
Oh, I'm just having some hibiscus black tea today. So I'm trying to keep.
So I'm the only lush out there today. Great. Thanks, guys.
I'm PMSing. I'm just trying to stay like kosher. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't like drinking too much when I'm just anyway, because I don't want to keep this going too long. So we talked about mad white people. Kind of.
As we do.
As we always do.
As we do.
But here's the thing. There's a lot of younger kids too, and like weird people like white wrestling coaches coming out with these parodied fucking pictures of them on somebody's neck like they did George Floyd. And I'm disturbed. One of the ones I saw was 2 kids from Legacy Christian School somewhere up north in Minneapolis. Well, it was actually in the same state. It was from Minnesota. And I'm just like, I'm so flabbergasted that they actually even thought there's a George Floyd challenge going around right now, I believe. I don't know if the fucking social media has taken it down, but I have seen it. I have not clicked on it, but I bet apparently.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did because it's very interesting now. This is how I know something is different about this. Because it seems like everything else that has come in the media like this, you can kind of go tit for tat, or maybe it happened and maybe it didn't when it comes to certain cases, like with Trayvon Martin and with Sandra Bland, and you're just kind of like, well, what really happens? We only have this phone call. We only have this much video footage. When you're literally watching something from start to finish and it's all fucked up, all of the excuses go out of the window. You would like to think, because we saw Rodney King and shit.
That would have been enough. It wasn't. But 9 minutes on somebody's neck was enough, finally.
Right. And maybe, child, it's just
man.
awful. So, you know, with all that out there, I've noticed a lot of celebrities, and I'm talking like high profile ones, are saying stuff. Like, I was very shocked that Billie Eilish spoke out the way that she did, just because
Billie Eilish went in.
She's so hot in that It Girl, and then Pink's retweeting it. Madonna's flat out saying "fuck the police," which Madonna's another story. But I'm saying, even with them doing it, I think it's very wise to do. Whether it's sincere or not, I would prefer it to be sincere. But at this point, it's like
it doesn't matter because they'll be able to move more people.
I'm like, what you need to do right now, especially while this shit's going down, you need to go ahead and join the money train when it comes to Black Lives Matter. Post the hashtag, do what Nike did, because Nike made a beautiful statement on it, and they've already been rocking with Kaepernick. And we know they're making money off it and blah, blah, blah. But the point is, we need people in positions of power to care about the shit that we care about, to cater to us, and then give us seats at the table. That's the order that this needs to go.
Y'all remember what Rihanna said, right? I heard the fucking, you want to break bread with us? Well, tell your white friends and non-black people to pull up. Pull up, bitches. Y'all
have to do work. Like Blake Lively, who I loved on Gossip Girl. I love that her and Ryan Reynolds put out joint statements like, look, this is something we never even acknowledge within ourselves, the privilege we have, the conversations we have with our kids are going to be different from yours. Seeing celebrities and big corporations that are predominantly white and white owned put out the hashtag Black Lives Matters is so big, because a few years ago, All Lives Matters and Blue Lives Matter.
Right.
Was what the rebuttal was, and now people aren't even trying to go there because you already know it's fucked up.
People are starting to understand the difference between All Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, I don't even think it's that much.
No, it is because a lot of people didn't understand that. My favorite way to tell people was like, listen, you know how the dolphins are endangered in certain places, especially like in Japan? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. So we need to save the dolphins, yeah? They're like, yeah. I was like, that doesn't mean I hate the fucking whales out in the ocean, dude. Like, it doesn't mean that I hate the fucking angelfish running around the dolphins. It doesn't mean that, you know, I want to kill all the other sea creatures and the turtles and shit like that. It just means that the dolphins need a little extra attention because their fucking lives are being threatened right now. And so now replace dolphins with black people, and the rest of the sea creatures are the rest of the human race. Like, we need a little extra help out here right now. And that's all we're asking for. I don't
think a lot of them understand that, which is why a lot of the pushback is still happening. But I think it was a perfect storm with them being trapped with the coronavirus, with everything else that I just mentioned, pushing people to get that angry and desperate and not give a fuck. Because a lot of them still don't get it, but they can understand and maybe get on the level of being angry. And also that fear, because in a weird way, like, my love language is fear. I almost rather you fear and respect me than anything else, because that's what you understand. You understand fear and you respect a lot of times what you are afraid of. So not saying that we want people of color to come off like the scary monsters that we've been portrayed as, but it's interesting what happens when you are afraid of us. It's interesting what happens when there's a group of us, especially when it's sprinkled with some of y'all, and you're kind of like, how the fuck do we stop this? The fact that we had Trump run into his bunker in the White House is insane.
Listen, the last person to run to the bunker when they were doing some fucked up shit to their citizens was Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. I'm just saying.
Isn't that insane? It's insane.
My whole thing is, I think what is shaking people right now is that the same ones that were hollering and acting crazy when we were peacefully protesting, I think, kind of like what you mentioned before, CJ, when I think it was you, Brandy, that was saying that it was a little rocky. Like, you couldn't really tell because you didn't get all the video footage, or maybe this, or maybe that. With this shit, it was beyond the shadow of a motherfucking doubt that this shit is fucked up.
And you know what? I haven't even watched it. You
know what I mean? It was beyond the shadow of a doubt. And I think all of those people that were so angry, they were so angry because they were in denial. They didn't want to believe that they lived in a country that was capable of doing some fucked up shit like this. But now they're able to see that shit. And now they're pissed off. That's why they're in the streets doing the same shit that we're doing. Because they're like, wow, I can't fucking believe that this shit is real. I can't believe that they were right the whole fucking time. You see what I'm saying?
But
so now that's why they're in the streets acting up, bucking up, just like the rest of them.
And they have I guess, like Brandy said, it's a perfect storm, which is also kind of scary because it is a perfect storm. Like how much of it was planted and then how much of it was like the consequences of what was planted. It's like what you mentioned with the bricks being out in the stores. And, you know, like I said, we're going to talk about this on our longer episode that came out last week because we're recording this first. It's so hard to think. I was like, wait, this is going to be last week for the people who are listening or watching this particular episode of the Newsangl. But, you know, I really just don't think that people were ready to see a video like that. You know what I mean?
They weren't.
The anger and the suffering and all of that everybody who's brown, black, whatever has gone through finally is being understood by other people who never thought this was a real thing.
Speaking of a real thing, I keep forgetting just because we don't have. I went on mute, y'all, because my son.
No, you're fine. I figured.
To me, and normally, you know, I thought it was gonna be something like, "Oh, can I have some juice?" I was like, "Get your bitch ass out of here!"
Oh,
but it wasn't that. He comes out and he was like, "Hey, me and my friends were talking about kind of what you're talking about because he heard the end part of it, of Demetrius going in." And I forget, just because I don't have cable doesn't mean that the TikTok and everything else.
Of course, my kid's been talking about it all day with me too, so nonstop.
He's talking, you know, to his friends and stuff like that about it. He asked me, he said, what do you feel like is more important? Them protesting and getting together because Black lives do matter, or, you know, thinking about the safety during the coronavirus? And I said, I feel like both are extremely important.
They're both extremely important.
Still alive and well. And also racism, unfortunately, is still alive and well with this system of injustice that we've been, you know, projecting the greatest country in the world on top of. However, a lot of the motherfuckers and motherfuckettes was barely following the quarantine rules anyway before.
That's true.
So I'm not trying to hear,
nope.
Oh, 6 feet apart and they ain't wearing masks and that. Nah, y'all was doing what y'all wanted to do almost like a couple weeks in for it. So I miss me.
Y'all was outside yelling, spitting in fucking cops' faces because you wanted a fucking haircut.
And again.
And also, like, the other part is I really want people to understand that mass media and social media as well, reporting stuff right now, missing the whole part about the community coming out to clean up the areas that were protested and looted. None of that is being shown, really. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of peaceful and great things going on.
Well, the part of it is because the looters who are hardcore looters are traveling looters. They're not the people who live in that particular area. You know what I mean? And there's other things like people watching truckloads of pallets being brought to like the Target that got burned down. Like those Antifa people showed up ready with wooden pallets to burn the buildings down. And nobody is really talking about stuff like that. So to me, I'm just like, there's more to this than just a protest. There's more to this than just Black people, white people, just, you know, it's not black and white. Literally, no pun intended, but it's not black and white at all. It really isn't. Now, I know people, I don't want to get into it too much. I know people are like, oh, it's going to start a race war. It's not. It's going to start a war between good and evil. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to, I mean, there's no race war at this point. Because I feel like the people who are going to say, oh, but white supremacy, they're on the evil side anyway. You know what I mean?
And then I feel like something like that's always been going on.
It has, but not to this extreme on the forefront.
It's never, well, it's been to this extreme. The only thing, like I was saying, was making this different is we're seeing more people that are not of color joining in.
That's what I mean.
Like,
that's what I mean. That's why
they decide to take us seriously when it's like, oh shit, we got Karen and Connor, they're sick of it too, and then you have more. Seriously, that's why I say, hey, we need y'all to pull up. Like, don't just enjoy us. Don't enjoy the one or two Black people that you know in life, because you know a lot of y'all got circles like that where there's only one or two of us. If you feel away when I'm saying it, shit, diversify your friends.
And please don't think that people like Doja Cat counts, because they don't.
Wow. I
do.
Because I love, and then Demetrius asked, I'm tired of you. Let me get on him really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
All, I was listening to y'all last week, and I was trolling the page. I left comments for y'all.
Oh, I can't wait to go read it.
Anyway, I was like, D-La's so fucking dumb. Intern.
Oh my god, sorry. You know what, it's okay, it's okay. We were trolling you on the show itself, so it's fine.
Like y'all deserved it. So anyway, the fact that D was like, well, I gotta watch the video for content, or maybe she didn't mean it like that. I'm like, D is always a silver lining asshole. And I hate it. I'm like, sometimes
have to play devil's advocate.
You do.
Especially if I don't know all the info.
No. First of all, you knew all the goddamn information, because when CJ tells you some shit, that's everything.
It's real. End all be all,
No,
right?
just stop saying that, you guys, because then people are like, oh, CJ's just so full of herself. I'm not. I really just do go research things. Oh my God.
She is. She's trying to play modest.
Oh no, y'all are terrible.
And then you also have to realize I was chock full of marijuana that day. So
You
I was
sure
like,
was.
what? I don't understand.
Because at the end, we was arguing about vegan meats.
Yeah, I was watching like this. I think one of the comments I made after I watched it, I was like, I've seen better podcasts.
Oh.
I think I said something like, I've been a part of better podcasts or something.
Oh wow. I
had fun. I was like, is this what it's like to be a troll? This is fun.
That's probably is. I mean, but that's okay. We liked the calm. It was like Tabitha Brown talking. We was just chilling.
Tabitha Brown.
It was so quiet. There was no screeching.
I gotta send you guys.
First of all, y'all need people like me. Y'all need people like me.
We need a little bit of screechiness.
Y'all need screeching. I was like, this is too quiet for me. Where's the loud?
Oh my God, I can't. But to get back so we can wrap this up, because we only got a couple minutes to go. I just wanted to talk about the new school schedule. Everybody's freaking out over. I don't know if you've heard, but in my area, people are looking at 2 days on, 1 day off for the school to clean, and then 2 days on for the other half of the school. So it would be like Team A, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Friday. Team A would be online school, right? And then Wednesday is off for everybody. So Team B and A are online schooling. But then Team B would be going to school Thursday, Friday. And then I'm just
trying to do like a thing like that with us up here too, because they emailed us and texted us what this was like. And I was just like, fuck, is this really life for them right now?
Here's the thing, if school is open back up, that means work is open back up. We're going to need a lot of people to be babysitters and daycare centers and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Since my kid's not nowhere near daycare babysitting age, I'm like, fuck. I'm always thinking about those parents that have little kids. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
What would I do if I didn't have my family or me just working out of the house to begin with?
This goes back to what we were saying when this first started, and we were all basically trying to give tips and tricks for the trade of how to make it through whatever the fuck this year was going to bring. And I think it still stands to make sure that you have a really tight tribe around you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Because
the village.
Your family will not always be blood related. And you really need to make sure you have a diverse group of people that have kids, people that don't. Married people versus a single friend. Like, I like having a different group of people around me that I know I can trust and depend on if shit goes sideways. And of course, also being what I say I want in a friend or someone to help me out too. That way your little village is okay, because it does take a village, especially now with people losing their sanity, emotions everywhere. The drinking, D's overdosing on edibles. It's just a lot. For everybody.
It is. It really is. Like, I hope that people who need help go get the help that they need and all that good stuff. Lastly, somebody discovered that this COVID situation, the virus is actually a hybrid of 2 different viruses. That just came out today.
Well, if the person that discovered it, important question, are they still alive?
I don't know. We'll see.
Because you know how they get down.
Yeah, so I mean, it's called recombination. They're saying it could.
Wait a minute, did this just happen?
Yeah, like this article is from like today.
That is, we'll talk more about that.
We will talk more about it, but all 3 of us have been saying this shit since the get-go. Like for 6 months, 6 months now, we've been saying this shit. And I'm gonna go and find my screenshot of when I called martial law a few months ago. I want to say it was like February when I said something.
Yeah, it was around January, either late January or early February.
Late January, I started talking about it. February, I know I went in and people were like, CJ, you're out of your fucking mind. I said, okay, that's fine. That is fine. You say whatever you want to say. But, it's cool. But anyway, we're going to wrap this shit up. And call it a night because we really want to get into some stuff on our actual episode. And so if you are interested in that, it's last Thursday's episode. So it would be episode 68 because this is 69, I believe. Hey, 69. Hey, get it in. But anyways, if you have enjoyed us thus far, make sure you subscribe to your favorite platform for podcasts. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Our Newsangl episodes drop every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time, and our other one drops on Thursday, noon Central. Anything else to wrap it up with? Y'all good? Like,
don't come for us unless we send for you.
Yeah,
we are definitely gonna
say it again.
We are definitely gonna come for that ass.
Yeah, because if you bored,
if you try to make it seem like we are racist and mean or whatever the fuck, because we ain't none of that shit.
Yeah, I got called a racist by a white person.
I believe it.
And I was like, well, I mean, that's cool.
Don't even get me started on that whole. That's a whole nother. We almost say that for the next episode. But for me,
we're chill to the next episode.
Right? My closing statement: if you see a pallet of bricks in front of a building while you're protesting, I wouldn't recommend touching it.
Yeah, Antifa for sure. But anyway, so stay blessed.
It happened here.
It happened in Dallas too. The bricks are happening. That means somebody is providing the fucking bricks. Anyways, we gotta wrap this up because we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Right, we gotta right.
Anyways, yes, stay blessed. I can't even finish. Stay blessed.
Stay black. That's right. Stay black.
Oh, stay black.
Stay blessed.
Stay black. Celebrate Juneteenth this month. This is gonna be all about Juneteenth later on.
All about Juneteenth.
I swear to God, I already told Rob. Rob already wrote it on the calendar. Shit.
I know that's right.
He had it. He wrote it before I even asked him about it. So get you one of them white boys.
Juneteenth is this your real Independence Day.
Yep. Juneteenth it is. Once they start, they're gonna have to make that an observed holiday, or this shit ain't gonna end. It's not.
Oh, they gonna go off this year.
We about to. I hope that folks stop going to 4th of July parties and start doing Juneteenth parties. I really do.
That would be nice.
I'm just saying we're gonna have a Juneteenth party. I don't know about y'all, but we are. Everybody's invited. Social distance, though.
Yeah, I was like, if I do anything, maybe it'll be a virtual one because we still.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We should do a virtual one. Let's do it. Boom.
Yes!
Virtual Juneteenth.
Virtual Juneteenth. Stay tuned. We'll have all the details if you want to come. We'll provide you with that information.
We will have the flyer ready to go.
Oh my God, I already have a look. I got the face paint.
We're doing it. Okay, anyways, bye guys. Stay safe, stay logical, stay blessed. Stay black if you're black. If you're not, support POC and Allies Unite. Peace out.